Hi, welcome. It's Meredith. I'm here with our message for Wednesday, the 2nd of September, 2020. We're using Lightseer's Tarot for our message today. And before we get to that, it's Q&A time, folks. All right, our first question. What do you do when things don't work out? Drawing board? Back to it. Start over. Reconsider. Yeah. Step back. Get a fresh eye. Or maybe walk on altogether. Recycle. What do you do when things don't work out? And our next question, what are the little things in life that you enjoy? Ooh. Homemade lemonade. That's one of many. Connection, conversation with the people I love. That's the sweetest thing ever. Gosh, that could be a really long list. Being barefoot. That's a great start. Okay, let's get into the cards. 3 from the bottom of the deck, representing how the energy atmosphere is charged today, what we are navigating. Our first is 8 of Swords. Ooh. Well, let's just get right to the point. Yeah, that was meant to be a pun. Point, swords. 8 of Swords. I love how it's done in this deck, because she's looking in the mirror. She's seeing where she's tied up and blindfolded within her own self-relationship in the mirror. And, you know, once spotted, once seen, action will be taken. So we may be taking action on some either experiences that are unfolding in the day, or we are in recollection of energies that were vexing or frustrating for us, and setting them free. It's going to happen in self-relationship before it happens anywhere else, of course. So 8s are motion and movement, and this particular 8 has the essence of moving through expectation, like letting an expectation go, or holding oneself to a standard that's not reasonable or even valid. So once we recognize that standard or expectation that we may be holding, we may figure out that that's energy that needs to be released to flow. It's not something that can be controlled. It may not be something that is really even worthy of your consideration or worthy of the energetic space you have given it. So as you see it, as you recognize it, and you love it up, you let it go, so your hands are no longer tied. The blindfold comes off and you feel free. Beautiful. Coming with this, well, hey, why not? Let's have some 3 of Swords with that too. Okay, so this is excellent because 3 of Swords is pain, loss, and sorrow of the past. And it's all about getting to the heart of the matter. And I feel that we do that on the 8. We get to the heart of the matter and we let go. We really do use the swords at that point and cut away the energy that isn't serving, or cut through, or, you know, cut through the blindfold, cut through the rope on the hands. The 3 of Swords is, it's another card of liberation. And it's one that doesn't necessarily come easy. It comes with a tremendous life lesson, or 5. And it signals the end of something too. So it's a gasper. You know, it's a cringer in tarot. Most people see this and they're thinking heartbreak and sorrow and the end of a relationship. My feeling is, though, it's something that is at its end within self-relationship, and it's something to be celebrated, to be grateful for, because if you've been tied up in knots over it, then whatever's tied up in knots isn't really part of the loving flow that we find ourselves in recently. You know, if you've been watching the dailies, you know how much love, bliss, and joy we have flowing into our lives. And that kind of love, bliss, and joy is going to highlight for us anything unlike it. And that is something to be grateful for. So not, or in appreciation for. So it may be uncomfortable as it passes, but that's just it. It's passing. It finally has the space. It finally has the opportunity. It may be one of the most precious opportunities that we find on offer to us lately. You know, we've been talking about those, how they're not expiring, they're not going away. We get to explore them at our leisure. And at our leisure, we're being offered an opportunity to take a look at these things that we've been harboring, these experiences, these emotions, these waves within the feeling realm. And yeah, for a moment's discomfort, to allow them to pass and give them the love that they require, it's worth doing, because it brings a lifetime of even greater, more expansive freedom. And then coming with all of that is justice. How perfect. And look, we're dealing with reflections here too. We've got it in the 8, but we've also got it here in justice. She's looking right at herself. See, the blindfold came off. You could see yourself. You could bring harmony. You can bring harmony to your heart space. And that's what liberates us from the 3 of Swords. Yeah. This is having mercy on yourself. The Justice card really does bring a message of mercy. So have mercy on yourself. Pull the blindfold off. Set yourself free. Excellent. Let's see what comes with it. That's quite a charged atmosphere, huh? And then we have Page of Pentacles. Excellent card. This is one of my favorite pages. This page, like all the others, I feel is a scout. They walk out to the horizon. This is us out on the edge of our sphere of influence, and we're getting a lay of the land. This card speaks to seasons and cycles, so everything in its own right timing, in its own right way. And it brings fresh perspective, because pages are new. They are somewhat of a novice. And we could feel that way after letting this 8 and this 3 go free, right? We could feel liberated, but what fills that space? And it's the space that the 8 and the 3 occupied. Sure, we're bringing it into harmony, but now we really need to fill it with the overflow of love, bliss, and joy that we have on offer to us. And that may have a process, a cycle, it all on its own. So be in harmony with that flow. Everything comes in its own right way and at just the right moment. Coming with our page is Four of Swords. Perfect. Rest, relax. Rest and relaxation for the spiritual warrior. Yeah, put your feet up. We saw this card yesterday, I believe, too. So that energy is still with us. Take advantage of it. No need to rush. Meditation is a great option. A good nap. Ooh, there's another thing. From our Know Yourself question, simple things in life, a good nap. Yeah. So be at ease with yourself is what this is about. There's no drama here in this 8, no drama in the 3. It's really back to allowing. And then we have the Wheel of Fortune. Yeah, because the Divine Delivery System has something to put on your foundation, and it is of the miraculous and spectacular. And it's number 10 in the major arcana. So there is a sense of fulfillment and completion here. And on the other side of that completion is happiness and satisfaction. So here again, this is what you're making way for. By working with your 8 and your 3, you're making way for what the wheel is delivering to you. Coming with that, another 10. Look at that. 10 of Swords. Ooh, and how perfect. We had this 10. We had 3 10s yesterday. And the last of those 10s was the 10 of Swords, and the message there was how the master gets up and walks on. Yes, there's something that's come to completion, but it's not over for the master on the 10 of Swords. It's called the Fallen Master, but in the Lightseer's Tarot, our master is up on her feet and walking on exactly as intended into the new opportunity. So as you make way for what the Wheel of Fortune is delivering to you, you have plenty of space for discovery and exploration. Coming next is Temperance. How perfect is that? You know, there's a touch of awe and wonder on Temperance for me. We typically see an angel holding cups, pouring water between the cups, and making something out of seemingly nothing, and a toe touching the water. You know, the angel's usually putting her toe in the water. So this angel is sitting, relaxed even, 4 of Swords. The feeling of awe and wonder is there, and it is alchemy within those feelings that creates something brand new for us. And it may be a more expansive happiness. That's the thing about Temperance. We're blending energies. We find ourselves in a new space, and Page of Pentacles, 10 of Swords. We're in new territory, and we're creating something new in that territory, but we're doing it in a way that is relaxed. It's not coming off some launch pad of drama. We're not feeling as though we are in survival programming. We get to do this in a relaxed way. And when our ego does come up in it, we're able to quell that rather quickly and stick with the spirit of it. So I feel that Temperance has us leaning back comfortably into our own wings, feeling awe and wonder, and expanding our happiness. That's the alchemy. Coming after that, ooh, wow, look at this, the Tower. I know, another cringer. There's some tough cards here on the table. Typically, you know, in traditional tarot, these would, the 8, the 3, and the Tower would be enough for a person receiving receiving a reading to ask for their money back. Oh, goodness. Anyway, the Tower. I have such an interesting appreciation for this card. And what I see recently, what a very sweet soul has been teaching me, is that the Tower is a lot about us being cracked wide open and allowing our light out. Is it a lightning bolt that's striking the Tower and bringing destruction and knocking it down? Or is it this over here, our 8 and our 3? Are these two cards, are they making up the walls of this Tower? It's a great question. And are we expanding Temperance into happiness so far that we are cracking ourselves wide open here and allowing the light to shine so that this kind of energy can be set free? Excellent questions. Consider them. I really do feel, though, that the Tower is about us bringing down walls within our self-relationship and within belief system and programming. You know, sometimes the programming is more uncomfortable, but it's so familiar we just don't recognize that until we suddenly do. Temperance. And we know then that action must be taken. And we also sense the presence of the Wheel of Fortune, and there's a bit of pressure on that card because that wheel is going to keep turning. And you can flow with it or you can let it roll right over you, right? And sometimes when we're so focused on the walls of the Tower, we don't recognize that we're being run over by the wheel. And the wheel was bringing a whole lot of opportunity with it. But then we have the epiphany, and then there we are with our arms and hearts wide open. And some of the stuff that flies out when we do that is really quite amazing. Oh, coming next, look at that. What a beauty. And if ever we needed to see it, it's here. The Ace of Cups. This is the light that's coming out of the tower. I've read this card recently for someone very dear to me. It has shown up over and over in their readings. And it's there that I started to see how the light is coming out of the tower. And the Ace of Cups truly embodies that. This is a divine flow. It's a cosmic gift. And the gift is our heart space. And if it's locked up over here, we've got some work to do. We've all experienced it. We know what that feels like. We know what it looks like. And we've done it a multitude of times, and we're being invited to do it again, but we're being invited to do it off a solid foundation in a synchronistic flow and in the spirit of giving and receiving to our own selves. And then that flows into our sphere of influence and our broadcast, and it creates miraculous beauty, which we have been seeing over and over in the cards. So this kind of effort is really worth it at this time. Go for it. Be bold. Take the blindfold off. Look right into your own eyes and see all the love that awaits you there. First card from Angel Answers, Perfect Timing. Yeah. I did say it all happens in its own right way in just the right moment. And there's the card to confirm that. This is a beautiful moment for you to embrace yourself. And trust. Trust the now and trust what's on offer. Next. Ooh, here's one we don't see very often. The emphatic no. That's great, because that is directed at your 8 and your 3. No more of that. It's ready to go. It's ripe. It's like fruit on the tree, ready to be picked, and so you do. It's complete. The 10s that we've had are about happiness, fulfillment, satisfaction, certainly. But as I was saying, you all know the journey there can be a very complex one. Ooh. Well. Another one we don't see very often. Our sweet simple no. So we have an emphatic and a sweet simple. And there's one for each of these cards. You put the emphasis where it's most required. You bring the mercy. Okay? All right. Soul Truth deck. Contemplative question for the day. Am I apologizing for my truth? Ooh. Yes. Yes. I still do that. Not consistently. But I do that. And as I see this card, I'm thinking about the Queen of Wands. She would never. So I'll embrace my inner Queen of Wands and not apologize for my truth. But yeah, that happens. I still have a touch of people pleasing. And anyway, kindness and compassion will cure that. And our affirmation from the universe has your back. When I lean toward love, I am led. Yeah, here it is. Ace of Cups. Lean into that. Flow with that. Thank you for watching, everyone. Have a beautiful, beautiful day. Peak of the week, Wednesday. Ooh, and the full moon. Don't forget that. Namaste.